or not this weekend, but next weekend, does about 250,000 buys. Now, I think Arizlande Lara could probably do a little more buys than that because of all the bullshit that's went on with Twitter and stuff, him calling Golovkin out, you know. Jamal Charlo, the one that just beat Williams back in December, could probably do right at the same thing Jacobs can do if it's built up right. The only one guaranteed to do better numbers is Canelo Alvarez. And that fight will do 1 million buys. Or close to it.
Huge fight.
That's the biggest fight can be made in boxing right now. And then, but I mean, it still may not. I mean, you say pay-per-view's dead, but then you got a guy like over in the UFC, Conor McGregor. He does 1.5 million every time he steps in the octagon. You know, and I hate to talk about the Mayweather-McGregor fight, but that son bitch probably do 3 to 4 million buys. In all honesty,
I hope that happens.
As long as it's a boxing match, Mayweather will box circles around him. You know. But here's what I think will honestly happen in that fight. I cannot see McGregor keeping his wits about him. After about 2 rounds of not really being able to hit Floyd, I could see him trying to kick him or something.
Yeah, he may scoop him, put him on the ground.
Exactly.
Damn.
Exactly. I could really see that. And I'm not trying to be funny or nothing. I'm being serious. That could really happen. Because, I mean, you got world-class elite fighters that have swung on Floyd Mayweather for 36 straight minutes that couldn't hardly hit him. You're telling me a guy's going to come over from there and hit on him all night? Nah, it ain't happening. You know what I mean? It just ain't happening. So, I could see after about 6-8 minutes of that shit, him just saying, piss on this, man. You know? And that would be worth the $100 for the pay-per-view to me.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That was kind of like, it takes you back to the day of Tyson Holyfield when he bit his ear. You know? It was worth it just to be able to see it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like, I didn't really just see that, did I?
I never will forget it. Jeez, that was crazy. I went to the first fight, you know. I wasn't at the second one when that happened. But I was watching it, you know, on pay-per-view live. But jeez. What? Did he just bite his ear? And Mike had some mental issues at that time, needless to say. But actually, pretty nice guy now, though. Very nice guy.
Yeah, he's a lot calmer nowadays.
Highly intelligent as far as boxing knowledge goes and history and stuff like that. He really is. Knows a lot about the sport. A whole lot. And, but, you know, I see that, I think he's facing a dilemma with this fight, that if he goes in here and he walks through Jacobs, he don't get Alvarez in the ring until maybe this time, until September of 2018 at the soonest. There's a couple other fights in talks, like for June with Billy Joe Saunders, and that would be the first time we've had an undisputed champion in any division since Jermaine Taylor, if I'm not mistaken, when he beat Hopkins. But then he had to forfeit the IBF title to be able to give Hopkins a rematch. And that was back in 06, maybe, somewhere in that area. You know, that's a long time to not have an undisputed champion. When it seemed like in the 80s, that was a regular thing. You heard about it all the time. The undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, the undisputed middleweight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's too many belts in boxing now. Way too many. Way too many. And I can remember when I first got into boxing, you had the WBC, WBA. The IBF come along in the early 80s, you know. Then the WBO come along here in the 2000s when it became an official title you had to have. And that takes 4 titles. So it is pretty damn hard to unify. Unifying ain't really that hard. You can match 2 champions. We just seen a great fight this past weekend with unification fight in the welterweight division. But, see, I just mentioned that, and it aggravates me when I think about that, because I look at Top Rank putting this card right here that they announced yesterday on pay-per-view, but we just watched a free unification fight, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a breath of fresh air, in all honesty. It was a breath of fresh air. I mean, we're not going back to the days of Ray Leonard and that bunch, where you could watch them every Saturday on ABC Wild World of Sports or something, but it was nice. I'm glad the viewership turned up. I think they did a little over 5 million viewers, something like that, But it was pretty good numbers. They were the top.
It was actually '05 when Taylor unified those belts.
Was it?
Yeah.
Seems like he was undisputed champion though up until like 2006. I'm not positive.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, and that's a question Golovkin gets asked. Why didn't he ever have a Taylor or a Pavlik or Martinez on his resume? Well, Martinez ducked him, plain and simple. He ducked him. He paid him step aside money. Yeah. Pavlik was pretty much done after Martinez beat him. He ain't been back. But it's that promotional issue. He got into a bad promotional contract originally, and boxing's a dirty sport, man. It's a dirty business. Bunch of crooks. I mean, we had a fight get canceled today, guys. Arthur Beterbiev and Sullivan Barrera got canceled today. All right. It was supposed to happen next month in April down in Miami. That fight was canceled today because Main Event Promotion, which is also the promoter for Sergey Kovalev, wanted to pay Barrera $62,000 for a title eliminator. Cassie Duva's up to some bullshit, man. Well, she's up to some bullshit. I mean, Virgil Hill made a big point of it prior to the Andre Ward fight with Kovalev. How is the champion only getting $2 million and my guy's getting $5 million? So
that's boxing.
It's a dirty business, and I hate to talk bad about Cassie because her father-in-law died yesterday. Lou Duva, rest in peace. One of the man trained 19 different world champions, trained some of the best boxers, some of the biggest names boxing's ever seen. From Holyfield to Lewis to Pernell Whitaker to Meldrick Taylor, the list goes on and on. Hector Camacho, the list goes on and on. And he died in Patterson, New Jersey yesterday at St. Joseph Hospital at 94 years of age.
Yeah, that's a big loss for boxing.
He was probably the last of the old school trainers. Emmanuel Stewart died not too long ago, a few years ago. He was the last of it. Dundee's been dead,
Yeah.
Guys like that, Eddie Futch.
Everybody's new school.
Yeah, I mean,
Mayweather Sr., Freddie Rose, guys like that.
Yeah, Abel Sanchez, Manuel Robel. He's one of the I'm not really sure how you say it, and that's crazy because I'm friends with him. But he's got Valdez. He's got some of the bigger young stars in boxing, and he's a good trainer. Well, I'll tell you about it. There is one decent old school guy. You got Nacho Beristain, from Mexico. He's pretty good. He's actually training Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. for the Canelo fight. Hey, that fight, I don't know which Chavez is going to show up. But if the same Chavez shows up that went over to, where'd he go? That fought Martinez, even, he stands a chance, man. He stands a chance. But now if the Chavez shows up that fought Andres from far, he has none. No chance at all. And I hate that because of this. If that's a close fight, they're going to go back on a rematch.
Yeah, well, he's always going to have a puncher's chance because
he's the bigger guy and he's got a little power, yeah.
Yeah, but there's definitely are two sides to him.
Yeah, there is. I mean, 164 and a half, where the hell they come up with these Canelo weights, I don't know. But, I mean, Oscar, what does Oscar do? Flip a quarter? Hey, if it lands on heads 3 times in a row, we're going to 163.8 for the next fight. He's the only guy I've ever met in my life that fought 1 pound over a limit and held a damn title in the next limit. 155. The king of the catchweights. Pacquiao fought a lot of catchweight fights. Cotto's fought a few catchweight fights, you know. But Mayweather just fought a couple himself. But Canelo's made a career out of it, literally.
It's all about the money.
He had a 154 fight against Smith, last year. That's the last time he's fought in an actual weight limit, ain't it? In a long time. I mean, hell, he fought Cotto at 155. He fought Khan at 155. He fought, just keep going. Now he's moved up to 160. That's super Canelo weight, 164 and a half. And he's fighting at super Canelo weight now. And here's the funny thing, is WBC's making a title for that fight. That's absurd. I don't know what they're calling it. It's the newly minted Super Canelo Weight Championship of the world. These sanctioning bodies are killing these fighters in sanctioning fees is what they're doing. You know? We're going to put a belt out there and you can pay us an extra $1 million in sanctioning fees.
Well, he's having these catchweights, but he's still fighting for his light middleweight title.
No, it's a new belt. WBC's making this belt. The We Be Crooks sanctioning body. And, man, I really get aggravated with these sanctioning bodies nowadays. I really do. Any sanctioning body that allows a guy like Adonis Stevenson to have the title defenses he's had, yeah, that's ridiculous. He should have been made to fight somebody by now. He should have been made to. Well, they're doing the same thing with Deontay Wilder, though. He hasn't fought a mandatory yet. He's fought 5 voluntary defenses. Now, I don't blame him a bit for this last one, coming off the injury he was coming off of. He needed a soft touch. He really did.
His time's coming.
As soon as he gets in the ring with a boxer, yeah, he's beat. Washington actually was winning the first 4 rounds of that fight pretty easily.
Yeah.
But Wilder's got that. He's got an equalizer. He can end that fight at any time.
Yeah, he looked terrible up to that point, though.
He looks terrible every time. He has no kind of rhythm. You hear people call him windmill and stuff like that, and shit, I think a windmill actually has a little more rhythm than he does. A lot more, actually. Punches ain't as wide, shit like that. It's telegraphed bad, and as soon as he gets in, like Louis Ortiz beat the brakes off of him right now. He really.
You say Ortiz?
Yeah. His skill level is just way above Deontay Wilder's. Joshua will probably beat him right now. Hell, I think Vladimir Klitschko could beat him, and he's 41 years old.
I think Klitschko would definitely beat him.
Yeah, I do too. I don't see how he can beat Klitschko. I really don't, because I don't see him landing that big shot against Klitschko. Hell, you can see the thing coming. I mean, they fought in Birmingham this last time, like he was swinging the damn punch from Atlanta.
Yeah, he looked like Samuel Peters.
Yeah, terrible. You're right. But we got about 10 more minutes here, guys. I'm gonna shut it on down. But yeah, is Golovkin legit or is he hype? He's 100% legit. 100% legit. It's not debatable. Now, did HBO initially put some hype behind him when he come over and he fought Proxa? Yeah, a little bit, because they're looking for somebody to sell. All right, and he's an Eastern European guy from Kazakhstan that nobody had ever even heard of. He was coming to fight Pirog. A lot of people don't know that. That was signed. That's who he was fighting in September 2012. But Pirog had the injury.
Yeah, he had that major back injury.
Mm-hmm.
But, 23 knockouts in a row, that pretty much sells itself.
Yeah. Like we was went on the list earlier, and when you get to Gill top 3, Murray top 3, Lemieux top 3, how many top 3 guys in his division does he have to beat before you say, hey man, this motherfucker might be pretty good? I don't think they're hyping him up too much. I think, but you go, well, he's a product of a weak era.